Show. Testing sound. 1, 2, and 3. That's microphone 1. Microphone number 2. It's a little bit different, but it sounds okay on the mix board? Okay, if you say so. The publication of the fall of Numenor and news about season 2 for the Rings of Power, which is currently in production in England right now. Hey, Bubble Maker. How you doing, little Bubble Maker? There's some nasty stuff in here. There's some nasty stuff in here that never got cleaned out. I don't know, maybe it was soap.
Is there a stream deck under there?
It's all in here, and I don't know if it was ever rinsed out or cleaned out.
Is there a stream deck right there?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir?
Is there a stream deck right there with buttons?
This one, yes, here it is. Yes.
Alright. And shit.
Hello guys, welcome. You can see whichever table you want and order from there or with me.
To let you guys know, for the first hour and a half, we'll be doing a live stream show with that camera pointing it. It's not currently on right now, just letting you know that soon the show will begin. And it will be facing us, and we'll be facing the camera in this direction. Just to let you know.
Okay, so don't be in the, okay, if you don't.
No, you can if you wish. I'm just letting you know it's there.
Thank you for letting us know.
You have complete carte blanche. You can sit anywhere you'd like. However, it would be bad of me to not inform you of the camera being used right now.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Alright, should we try this?
I like this idea.
I thought I had my copy of the Fall of Numenor in my backpack with me. I thought I grabbed it and brought it with me. You may take as many videos and pictures as you like, yes.
Alright, Cliff, go ahead.
Looks like it's running right now. Is it running? Yes, there we go. It is on. It is live. It is running. I'm going to copy that link and send it to my family who's trying to come in and dial in on the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the live stream show that we host every Tuesday for theonering.net. That's right, you guessed it. That's the name of the show we're talking about. It is Torn Tuesday. Welcome aboard, everyone. I'm going to put my phone on silent, see what's going on there. Justin is in the back of the control room, getting certain things ready to go. But allow me to introduce myself. Hello there. My name is Clifford Broadway from theonering.net. It's so good to have you here. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at QuickBeam2000. And follow us on theonering.net social channels. Just take out the dot. We're on The One Ring Net on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Instagram and everywhere in between. And you might notice that this doesn't look quite like my living room right now. It looks like Scum and Villainy Cantina. Hello, everybody. We're here coming to you live from the middle of Hollywood, California, ready to talk about The Rings of Power, The Fall of Numenor, posthumously published just a little while ago, and so many interesting things happening now in Tolkien fandom. Again, my name is Clifford, and I'm just so grateful. Grateful for you guys to come and join us live. I'm going to open up the YouTube chat so that we can talk to everybody and see what's going on. There will be a lot of other ways that you can interact with us. You can participate with our live show, certainly by being here in the audience. You can participate or come through on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and say hello. Hello, everybody. Hey, there we are. I see all these wonderful people here in the live chat. Good to see you. Hey, Jen. It's Jean. Hello, Jean. It's Jean Bourgeois. Hello. Good to see you, my love. Really nice to have these wonderful, friendly people. We've got more information and news coming to you about this coming Los Angeles Comic-Con weekend. There's a bunch of really, really cool stuff happening at LA Comic-Con. Not just related to The Lord of the Rings, but yeah, that's us too. We'll be there giving a big panel presentation on Saturday, December 3rd in the evening at about 5:30 p.m. Just to let you know, there's been an update to our schedule. But on top of all that, hello, look, there's Justin handing me some technical jiggery-pokery right here. Thank you for handing that to me. Are you wearing that shirt? He's wearing that shirt again, and I love it. That's so great. We're going to talk about Comic-Con. What is the news that we can deliver to you about Season 2 of The Rings of Power? All kinds of interesting options. And we're going to talk about who's going to be speculated to return in Season 2 versus those individuals who are not speculated to return as returning characters in Season 2. And I know you're going to miss, I think you're going to miss some of the Harfoots. Maybe, but I get a feeling that we're going to be talking about that. Yeah, I know. Hello, yes, love for the Harfoots and their Wandering Day. What a beautiful song that was. I really enjoyed that. That was a great episode. Hello. Yeah, I was just trying to make a joke about your name. You're good for it. You're totally good for the joke. And I thought that you would enjoy the laugh. Anyways, hola. Hello, Kevin. I hope that my sister and my nephew and my stepmom, many people in my family trying to join the show today so we can chat with all of you. Hello, Troy. There's Arne. There's Storyteller 01111. And hey, everybody's here. I can see you all. Thank you for joining the show. Now, normally, I would just reach into my backpack, and the first thing that I would show you is, wow, look at this beautiful hardcover edition of The Fall of Numenor. I wish I had my copy, right now at this awkward moment in time. I had convinced myself that I put it in my backpack, and then right before the show starts, literally, let me grab it. Let me grab my backpack right here. And what happens? Well, I forgot it. Just like a genuine, moment in time where there was the one critical thing that I wanted to bring with me, and I forgot my copy. But still, before we get to the main news headline about Season 2 of The Rings of Power, I got to tell you, wow, this book, I don't have it with me. Drat. If you want to know what to get yourself for Christmas, or you want to tell your family what it is they need to get you for Christmas, it would be a copy of The Fall of Numenor. It is absolute brilliant timing that the publishers put this book out right now when we're talking about all the lore of the Second Age and what happened to Numenor exactly to take them from a state of blessed grace to be given the gift of the Valar, this amazing island continent. And then yet, in the end, to have all of it go terribly, terribly wrong. And boy, did it go wrong. I'm telling you. It's a fascinating story. And the reason why the Brian Sibley edition is so unique and so exceptional to have is because he took all the piecemeal elements from a wide variety of different books and sources and manuscripts and even the appendices and managed to reconstruct an exact timeline through everything in the Second Age so you understand what Sauron was doing, what the Numenorians were doing, and how the Rings of Power themselves, as they were created, became part of the story of the downfall of Numenor. And it's amazing to have all this material in chronological order in the secondary world. It just is easy to read, brilliantly edited. Oh my gosh. Well done, Brian Sibley. Just like I said last week, brilliant, really brilliant. And ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't noticed, look who's here. I'm now joined by my producer and my co-host. Here he is, none other than Justin Sewell. Big round of applause, everybody out there in the internets. Hello, Justin.
Clifford. Hello, Clifford.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
Hello.
Tell me about this beautiful shirt that you're wearing. What's that about?
Nothing. Amazon knows nothing about this shirt.
I knew he was going to say that.
This is
Very funny.
I just found this on my doorstep.
You found
I appreciate
this amazing bootleg shirt was just dropped like a baby in a basket at your front door, an orphaned child.
Like a baby in the bathwater.
My baby in the bathwater. That's so funny.
We love to receive wonderful gifts from you, the fans, and our viewers. That we've been doing the show for 12 years now, and it's wonderful to receive gifts from you all. And you can send
12?
anything you want to Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, California. It's an easy Google. You can get the address.
Hello, daughter of the sea. Daughter
Scum
of
and Villainy.
Star of the Sea. Hello there.
We have new people in the chat room. We have new people
Wonderful.
sitting around here at Scum and Villainy Cantina, which is open to the public, and everybody can join us. I see some regulars in our chat, Otaku Senpai.
You see some wonderful
of
new
Gondor.
people here in the Scum and Villainy. Hey, guys, raise your hand if you've seen the Rings of Power. You've been seeing the Rings of Power? Yeah, good stuff.
We've got people in.
Yeah, everybody's raising their hands. We got fans in the house. So everybody, of course, has an opinion. It was gorgeous. It was vivid. It was beautifully produced. It was.
Should I give you the latest gossip, or should we? Should I wait on that?
It was written by a bunch of people who thought that they could mystery box everything about Sauron and the Dark Lord and maybe Gandalf. We don't know. Is it Gandalf? We don't know yet. But instead, this guy has some breaking news that I get the feeling. The feeling he's itching to tell me right now. What is it? What you got?
No.
What you got?
What we have is Ruby Cubes in the chat room. And
Ruby.
We've got Troy. Garfameo is in the chat room on YouTube. If you've ever wanted to visit New Zealand, Garfameo is not only a One Ring staffer for the longest of times, she, by profession, is a travel agent that books cruises to Middle Earth. In fact, some of our friends were just texting me today about, hey, what's up with those cruises to Middle Earth? Can I get in on that? And so Garfameo is right there in the chat. If you want to ask any questions about going to New Zealand for New Year's at the first of the year this year, visiting actual locations that they filmed at, they being Peter Jackson, maybe Amazon. We cannot confirm everything like that. So
Hi, Monica. We love you. Nice to have you back.
Hello,
there.
Monica.
Okay, so wait a minute. Okay. Garfameo, right? That's actually Chinese for Garfield. Garfield the cat from the comic strips, right? You know Garfield? Garfameo, yeah.
No, I don't know the reference.
Yes, actually it is the Cantonese word for Garfield.
Okay.
The cat. It's Garfameo. And because the last syllable is Mao, Garfameo, the meow. The meow sound of a cat.
Got it.
Anyways, there you go.
Well,
but, yeah.
Monica's asking, I've joined late. Have I missed anything interesting yet? I'm about to tell you the latest gossip. But before we get there, Cliff was just telling us about the brand new publication of The Fall of Numenor. I have so many questions for you.
Yes.
I did not bring any graphics to for the book because I thought you were bringing the book.
Yep.
You have the book.
I had it in my hands before I left the house. I had it in my hands. Unfortunately, the gremlins got involved, and they prevented the book from being
Have you
placed
got it
in my
in your
backpack.
pockets?
I have it with me. It's probably
It's
sitting.
not in your pockets. It's
not in my
because
pockets.
It's a hardcover.
Guess what? I was happy to get this hardcover at Barnes & Noble. It has a beautiful red linen ribbon, so you can mark your page.
I heard you talking
It comes
about
with a red
map.
linen ribbon.
Is there a map included in the book?
No, I don't. I saw beautiful illustrations from Alan Lee.
Alan
Beautiful new illustrations. Lots
But
of
no map.
beautiful full color and black and white illustrations.
All I want to know
didn't
is
see
there
a
a map of Numenor? Because I'm pretty lost on that island.
Do you know what? There probably is a map in that book somewhere, but I didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
But you know where your maps can be found.
Where can they be found?
Get yourself a copy of the Atlas of Middle-earth from Karen Wynne Fonstad.
I only want to buy one book this year. I'm on a budget. So
Yeah.
do I buy the Atlas of Middle-earth or the Fall of Numenor?
You buy The Fall of Numenor,
'Kay.
and one of your smart relatives will give you a gift for Christmas. That will be the Atlas of Middle-earth.
Got
all right?
it.
That'll work.
Okay.
It's really brilliant the way this book is structured. If you've ever been confused
Yeah.
about where are we in the timeline, is this the part where the Numenorians just begin the early stages of their colonization of the coastland of Middle-earth?
Yes.
Or are we way later in the timeline where Sauron is present on the island and has corrupted them into the act of worshiping Morgoth? And there's a whole lot of hundreds, if not thousands of years of time that passes in between these major events. In the TV series, they have not desperately, but deliriously contracted the time frame of events into one compact area at the very end of the Second Age. So by reading this book, you'll get a much clearer understanding of what changes they made from the book story to the actual
Dan in the
series.
chat room is saying another
actual
book
series.
Justin ain't reading. That's why I'm asking for the maps. I want to look at maps and nothing else. Sarah Draper in the chat room, thank you for correcting Cliff. There are 2 maps included. There is a map of Numenor in this book, and on the back page there is a map of Middle-earth. So there are maps.
Good. I was actually
I
caught up with the
speak
illustrations.
visually.
I know, but that's me too. I was way too busy exploring the chapter titles and the conduit of time, the whole chronological
you look at
time.
the words, and I look at the pictures.
And I was also busy being absorbed in the beautiful full-color plates that Alan Lee had put in this wonderful book. It's so great. It's so good.
The chat room is
Trust
saying,
me, it's so good.
I should do a read-a-thon through the book. If I could stay awake, I would, but I fell asleep listening to this guy read the book. So I can't. It's not in me. Might I enjoy it, Troy? Indeed.
Yeah, you might. You might enjoy that.
The last thing before we move on The Fall of Numenor, besides being a new book, besides being the 11th new book from J.R.R. Tolkien since George R.R. Martin's last Game of Thrones book.
Whoa, that's still my favorite joke.
This is the first Lord of the Rings book.
Hello, Nate. Hey,
Ever.
there goes our chef. The chef at Scum and Villainy Cantina. There he goes,
This is
right
the
there.
first official canon Lord of the Rings book not written by a Tolkien. Is this true?
It's the first posthumously published Tolkien book
Like the
besides
Silmarillion.
the nature of Middle-earth.
And the
okay?
Silmarillion.
All right.
And every book since 1972.
Well, yeah, all of the books that have ever been published posthumously were edited and carefully, painstakingly created.
Edited.
But that editing
Don't add that word.
that's creation.
Edited.
But the
So
book
Brian Sibley is creating.
creating a readable format.
Just like-
allow me to get the thought out of my mouth, all right?
Okay.
This is a format issue of editing existing material into a new format, all right?
Right.
But even Carl Hostetter did that in the previous volume, Nature of Middle-earth.
But that wasn't a narrative volume. That was not a story. That was just kind of a
Notes.
thesaurus, a bullet points, a dictionary, a kind of
A collection of historical essays?
Yeah.
And yet that's what the Silmarillion itself was, a collection of historical
but
essays.
less narrative.
A lot less narrative.
The Fall of Numenor, the new book that you can buy at bookstores everywhere right now.
I get what you're driving at.
Is
I get
the
it.
first
I get it.
narrative book.
I get it. It is a
not written
Exactly.
by Tolkien.
Exactly.
That is part of the canon.
Well, it's written by Tolkien, but edited by Brian Sibley. We get it. Because Christopher Tolkien is not involved in presenting this meat and potatoes of Second Age narrative, that is one of the distinctions that is worth mentioning. Definitely worth
So
mentioning.
he did
that.
nothing more
Yes.
to the Brian Sibley has done nothing more than Christopher Tolkien ever did.
Correct.
He's an editor.
He's an editor. He's an
Christopher
editor.
Tolkien
yes.
was always an editor.
Yes.
J.R.R. Tolkien is the only author of record.
He is the only author of record.
So
That is correct.
And other than some parts of some early books, co-edited with Christopher Tolkien, this is the first book solely edited by no one in the family.
And yet they couldn't have picked a better person that they would trust.
Correct. And if you
Yeah.
want to know more about it, our pals at Nerd of the Rings have interviewed Brian Sibley. Most recently, if you go
Yes.
to Nerd of the Rings on YouTube, they've got a wonderful hour-long conversation, and he talks about his reaction to Rings of Power. He talks about the process of editing The Fall of Numenor and how involved the family was.
Yep.
And honestly, should the family be involved? It's Tolkien's letters. The family has nothing more to do with it. It's Tolkien's words. Give it to an accomplished editor like Brian Sibley and let him do his job.
Well,
the family doesn't need to
I
input.
would venture to say that Brian Sibley is also something of a Tolkien scholar himself, having worked on previous adaptations for the BBC.
Right.
As well, yeah.
That's why you
he's something of a
trust
Tolkien
him.
scholar, yeah, more
So
than anyone.
Let me ask you this: Does this Tolkien book lose any luster for you in the chat room and for you, Cliff,
Not at all.
if
Not
the
at all.
Tolkien family is not involved in the editorial
Not
process?
at all. It's brilliant to have people like Carl Hostetter and Brian Sibley stepping up academically to take on these tasks. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And thank you to the Wonder of Tolkien for actually mentioning that Christopher did actually have to fill in gaps and create some other things as well.
Certainly, Brian
And-
Sibley.
but that was in the process of editing and adapting the Silmarillion to be a published format that could be workable.
I
yeah.
promise you, knowing a little bit about how publishing works, Carl Hostetter and Brian Sibley have both added to the text. Let's be honest.
Yes.
You have to. The process of editing is adding words. So everything that these two authors and editors have done is just a continuation of what Christopher Tolkien spent his life doing.
If there is any indication of a lot of added content that Brian would have put in, I'm sure he would have mentioned it.
Monica in the chat room wants to know, is this a one-stop shop for the story of Numenor?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, it is. And that is why I think that this book is going to go gangbusters. This book is probably going to be one of the top-selling posthumous Tolkien books. Probably because of the new popular culture interest that is generated by the TV series.
Okay.
And why not? Isn't that always the case? Every time there's a new Peter Jackson film or a film trilogy, every time there's a new something that's adapted from Tolkien, book sales go sky high. Much, 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 much bigger.
So I'm having a tough time. So it should be on everybody's Christmas list. So put the Fall of Numenor hardback edition. It's only available in hardback from any bookstore, your favorite bookstore. Shop local if you can.
Shop local, that's right.
It should be
yes.
on the top of everyone's list. And I think the wandering.net staff is putting together a wonderful wish list, Tolkien wish list. That will be published pretty soon.
Oh, it's
But-
called the Holiday Gift Guide.
There you
Yeah, that's
but
right.
So Cliff, I have to reconcile what you're saying about Carl Hostetter doing the Nature of Middle-earth, Brian Sibley editing this new book, The Fall of Numenor.
Yes,
These outside Tolkien scholars and everybody in the chat room. I love to see that you really appreciate that there's a Tolkien scholar involved in this publication.
Absolutely.
How do we reconcile that with the fan reaction to Rings of Power when there's an actual Tolkien, Simon Tolkien, involved in the process of the makings of Rings of Power?
Yeah, but we don't understand the nature of Simon's involvement, do we?
Don't we? Do we?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what we know and what we don't know exactly about Simon's involvement. We understand from the original legal contract language that characters who die in the Second Age cannot live in the show.
Yeah.
Characters who live in the Second Age can and go on to Third Age existence cannot die. So they can't be changing fundamental people and places of history that have to go on into the Third Age. However, we do notice from watching The Rings of Power that they were able to play rather fast and loose with the whole creation of the rings and the introduction of Anatar, because instead of bringing Anatar, they brought in some guy named Halbrand.
There's just as many A's in his name. Atlante in the chat room wants to know, Cliff, should Rings of Power get more scholars involved? Why isn't Simon Tolkien, why isn't a Tolkien family blood lineage good enough for fans?
Perhaps Simon Tolkien doesn't necessarily want to be that deeply involved. Maybe he just wants to have veto power at the end of the day, you know?
What does that mean, though?
That's exactly what we've always reported. If the family does not like some of the script material, they can veto it and make the writers change it. We've always reported that, haven't we?
That's
Yes,
right.
we have. Yes,
quick,
we have.
Quick chat in the Finrod was asking about a Chinese artist that does stained glass style artwork. Yes, we even featured that Chinese artist at our Hobbit Oscar party 10 years ago, or 8 years ago.
Oh gosh.
So,
yes,
we've
we
been
did.
a fan of theirs for a long time. We don't speak Chinese. He doesn't speak English, so it was a little difficult communicating in the early days. But we were one of the first to highlight that artwork and feature him at the big Oscar party that Weta Workshop and the actors and everybody showed up to. And of course the fans did.
Yeah.
So that was super fun.
Yeah, that's very much fun.
So do you want to know the gossip, the Green Dragon gossip?
I do want to know the gossip, but I'm intrigued by this question. Cliff, do you think Elrond should have been the main character of season 1 instead of Galadriel?
Ooh.
No one's ever brought that question up. And you know what? I might venture to say yes on that, because everything we had with Elrond, Durin, and Disa was very, very satisfying. It was such a great story. So why not? That could have been.
By the way, I'm drinking soda. If you notice, that came from the soda
That's
tap.
a lot of whiskey in that soda,
There's
but sure.
no whiskey.
Look at
It's
all that
just
whiskey in that soda.
We're just playing for camera.
Actually, Anatar has 3 A's. Halbrand has 2 A's. Wrong, Justin.
So should
you know
they
what
have
else?
spelled it Hal Brand with 2 R-A-A-N-D? Is there any Tolkien name with a double A in it?
A Tolkien name with a double A in it?
Yeah, a double vowel. Is there anything in Tolkien with a double vowel?
You mean like the word aardvark has a double vowel sound?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I really don't know. That's an interesting question. But anyway, I don't know. But what's the Green Dragon gossip that you're going to...
Well, okay, folks, I'm glad you're here for the OneRing.net's Torn Tuesday, our weekly podcast that we've been doing for over 10 years, 500 episodes. And we're not stopping because Season 2 of Rings of Power is in production right now. They are filming in England, in Bray, near Windsor Castle, as we speak.
Oh, we had previously shown photographs of that location, didn't we?
So, what do you guys in the chat want to know first? Actually, you have no idea what I'm going to say. Cliff, we have a spy report.
What are the spies telling us? And this is exciting. I want to know what's happening.
The set for Khazad-dûm, the Moria set, is 3 times the size of season 1. They have built the halls of Moria.
Ooh,
They have
really?
built semi-permanent sound stages for an entirety of Khazad-dûm and Moria. We are going to see more Moria.
Wow,
And it's
okay.
going to be practical, and it's going to be real.
That's exciting.
And it's going to be physical, and the presence.
I loved
the physi-
Khazad-dûm.
The
Remember,
physical space.
the elves haven't called it Moria yet. At this point in history,
Right.
it's Khazad-dûm still.
So Khazad-dûm / Moria is the biggest set for season 2.
That's very exciting.
And they have built it in a semi-permanent way
yeah?
with the intention of this is the set for the next 4 seasons. They're not going to keep rebuilding it. They're just
No.
going to keep adding and adding.
That would not be cost effective at all.
And it's more sustainable. Rather than using styrofoam that breaks down after a couple years and you put smoke machines and water in the air and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've built it out of materials that are meant to last for the rest of the series.
Maybe they'll let that set stand and it will be an amusement park that we can visit later on after the TV series is done.
Has anybody in
That
the
would be
chat
cool.
room
That
been
would be really
to
cool.
the Harry Potter experience in London? If you've been to England, the Warner Brothers studio lot
Yeah.
has a whole Harry Potter set experience. Where you can
Yes.
visit the sets of Harry Potter. I know.
I've been
I
hearing
know
about
Nerd of
that.
the Rings went there. He had 1 day off on his all expenses paid trip, and on that 1 day off, he rushed over to the Harry Potter set to see that.
Now, it is therefore within the realm of possibility if Warner Brothers had a Harry Potter set that was saved and used for tourists to come and visit, maybe Prime Video could save some of their Rings of Power sets, especially if they're not temporary and they're designed to be more permanent. Why not have that be an amazing tourist attraction? I think that's a really fantastic
Finrod
idea.
says,
It's a great idea.
I wish I want to see the Hogwarts model they used for the movies. I would cry. Well, Finrod, get ready to cry, because if you go to England, you can visit and see the actual Hogwarts model for yourself in person. Same, Monica, I'm telling you right now, if you make your way to England and you happen upon a Lord of the Rings set, that should be your greatest accomplishment in life. But your second greatest accomplishment should be the tourist attraction that is the Harry Potter experience in and outside of London.
I'm so down for that.
Yes. So,
So that's a thing in London. He went to visit Matt, Nerd of the Rings, did not visit the stuff here at the Warner Brothers Los Angeles
no, it's all in England.
tour. It's all in England? That would make sense, because why would they pack everything up and then ship it over here?
Jim
Right.
is in the chat room on Facebook. Great to have you in, Jim.
Hello, Jim.
And asks, the title of the show says, who is not coming back for season 2? I'm going to tell you right now. Cliff?
Tell me who's not coming back. My guess is that many of the cast of the Harfoots
The Harfoots are not coming back.
are not coming back. Is
They're
that
not
my
coming back.
guess?
Correct.
Because Nori Brandyfoot is now going wandering on another wandering day with the stranger, and she is the only
Possibly.
Harfoot character to stay.
Possibly.
Okay, this is intriguing.
Possibly.
Well, they killed off Sadok Burrows,
Yes.
which they shouldn't have done because they didn't earn it. Just saying. They didn't earn it.
But someone else may not be coming back for season 2.
Who? Halbrand?
Ismael Cruz Cordova
Whoa, no way.
is currently rumored to have the year off.
No.
So
Why
what would that mean?
Why would Arondir not come back?
Let me ask you this, Cliff. You've watched the episodes. You've watched all episodes of Rings of Power.
And
Tell me.
twice
where-
I rewatched the series twice.
Where does
Yes.
Arondir stand at the end of the season?
Well, because he's easily identifiable as the father of Theo,
Where is he?
I don't know. I don't know where he would be.
Where
He's-
is he?
Well,
You don't even know. You're
Well-
the biggest fan. You have a Lord of the Rings podcast, and you don't even know where Arondir ends on the season?
Oh, I remember distinctly where he ends. He
Where does he end?
ends in the building where all the people were hurt and being healed after the Southlanders were attacked and after the volcano exploded.
Yeah.
And the last thing we see in season 1 is Arondir hugging his son, Theo.
Son.
His son.
They never explicitly say
They
that.
never explicitly said that the character Theo is his boy, but it is very, very clear
Boy.
that Bronwyn and Arondir had a son, and that means
I don't believe that he is a son.
Theo is half-elven.
I don't believe it.
Do you remember the dialogue that one of Arondir's friends at the guard watchtower says? Do you remember all the times that there's been a relationship between elf and mortal man? It didn't end well. It ended very badly. And Arondir says, I know that. I know that. That was foreshadowing.
I'm not buying it. Eravani
Sorry.
isn't buying it either. I'm not buying that he's a father.
You're not? Well, I'm telling you.
Let's call Maury Povich and settle this.
Ha! Maury, he's going to be on the Maury show
Maury show.
doing a paternity
Let's
test. That's
let's
hilarious.
Prove if
No,
you
no, 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 no,
are
no.
the father.
The point
Arondir.
is, no, if it's true, if the theory is true, then Theo is half-elven. And if also true that Theo becomes one of the 9 Nazgul, wouldn't that be kind of brilliant from an aspect of Tolkien's lore, that one of the Nazgul was half-elven and we never knew it? And I think that is one of the most intriguing and really cool possibilities that the Rings of Power could go into. I think it's cool, but a lot of people in the chat are like,
Arondir,
no. A lot
the
of people in the
results
chat.
say you are not the father.
Everybody in the chat is saying no, Clifford. No,
That's correct. So
they're saying, but that is the last we see him in season 1 is hugging Theo.
well, here's where the rumor
That's it.
gets a little dishy because
That's it.
If
Then we
you
never see him again.
if you follow Ismael Cruz Cordova on Instagram, he's a generous poster.
Yes, he is.
He just posted last month. He just posted some photos from New Zealand. He has been here in Los Angeles. Now, remind you, they are filming season 2 as we speak right now with giant sets.
Yeah,
okay?
they're going to Pelargir. That's right.
What
That's
is
right, Jim.
Pelargir?
That's where Bronwyn says they're going to relocate because the Southlanders cannot live in Mordor anymore. So they're going to relocate to Pelargir, which is a settlement, a town settlement, which is downriver. Okay?
He is not kicked off the show. Let's be clear. He has just taken season 2 off. This is the rumors that we have it. The Harfoots and Arondir are not involved in season 2.
So
but we
what-
will see them going forward.
Well,
in
let
season
me
3.
ask you, how would you speculate season 2 is going to handle its stories and the different story arcs if they ignore a whole section of the story arcs? Do you mean it's just going to be
I feel
the elves and the dwarves, and that's it?
My personal feeling is there were too
And the
many
Numenorians?
storylines on season 1. There were too many storylines in season 1. And my gut reaction to this news is I'm all for reducing the number of storylines and doing the storylines that you do stick with
Look at this.
much better.
Look at what Durin Deathless says in the chat.
'Kay.
What is Arondir supposed to do? Who's his antagonist? What would he do that's intriguing enough to break us away from Adar versus Sauron or the merry adventures of Nori and the wizard?
Right.
Good questions. Very good questions. What would it be for Arondir as a presence in the narrative? And I'm blanking out.
So-
I don't know what he would do.
So
Except continue to fight against what Adar is trying to do in Mordor. Maybe.
I want your opinion after I say mine. But big picture, I'm all for reducing the number of storylines in season 2.
Fair.
And to do that, you do have to exclude some characters. And if this simplifies the story and lets us go a little deeper
Okay.
and more dramatic with some of the other stories, I'm all for that. But I do not like the idea of taking a chance with 22 main characters in season 1, getting one that is a superstar. Ismael is Ismael Cordova
He is.
the Orlando Bloom of this series.
Yes,
he is
he
a
is.
bona fide star.
He is a bona fide star.
Bona fide
Absolutely.
star. He is
Absolutely.
going to be
Yes, he is.
bankable for the rest of his life.
Yeah, quite.
And to sideline him.
That's true. That's true.
To sideline him when Amazon, you finally have a hit on your hands with this character and this actor. Not one person can criticize him. His performance, his character,
Exceptional.
his
Exceptionally
background,
good.
His everything about him is interesting. I
Yep.
want to know more about him. I want to know what type of elf he is.
Yep.
I want to know who his parents. I want to know everything about him. And to sideline him is a big mistake. And
I agree.
That's my opinion. Cliff, what is your opinion on this news?
I echo everything you just said. If we lived in an echo chamber, I would repeat every word he just said. But I won't do that. Let me just say that there is an aspect of Ismael Cruz Cordova, and we call that the it factor. You know what I mean? It's a quality that is so nebulous that it doesn't even have a proper descriptor. Ismael Cruz Cordova has star quality.
He's got it.
He's
Whatever
got it.
is.
Whatever it is, he's got that it factor. It is something that you cannot take out of the equation of the Rings of Power. In fact, if the producers and the writers are as knowledgeable as they are about the way fans are positively responding to these aspects of the Rings of Power, believe me, Arondir is one of the top level badass character. He's just a badass. He is awesome. He is the
I want to know more.
He is the Legolas Greenleaf equivalent, and yet there's something far more interesting going on because we are still debating, even today, even right now, in the past 10 minutes, we're still debating whether or not he is the true father of the other character, Theo. I say yes, you say no, other people say mostly no, maybe not, but to have that level of fan engagement, we're not busy talking about, other characters. We're talking about Arondir. And I mean not as much.
He literally
Not as
should
much.
be the star, equal screen time with Elrond, with Galadriel. He should he's the star. I want to see more of him, and I hope that this rumor is false, and I hope that better minds come to their senses and get him back to the UK and put the cameras on him, because the camera loves Ismael Cordova.
But if the Harfoots are, as an entire community, not going to be represented in season 2, we're probably going to just have Nori, Nori Brandyfoot and the Stranger representing the leftover elements of that storyline in general.
Yes. The story's about Gandalf and his pursuit.
Is he Gandalf, though? Matt, Nerd of the Rings, and many other Tolkien scholars out there are thinking he might be one of the Blue Wizards.
You want some juicier gossip? I wasn't ready to give this out yet, but you want some juicy Green Dragon gossip?
How could it be more juicy than the removal of Arondir from season 2? That's a big juicy rumor.
It's
a big one.
Unconfirmed. I've only heard this from one source. It's a well-placed source.
Oh.
It's a well-placed source.
Okay.
I trust this source.
Okay.
But I haven't been able to get any hint from any of our other deep connections.
Okay.
But
that's very amusing.
They have cast a new actor for Anatar.
That makes absolute sense. If Charlie Vickers cannot come back to play Halbrand...
No, he's still here.
But then Sauron would take on a different form and a different identity, so naturally, you would have a whole different character play him.
Expanded on that,
An
not only is
actor play him.
Anatar a new actor, but the plan for the next 4 seasons is multiple actors will get a chance to play Sauron, the Deceiver.
Multiple different actors every season get to play Sauron when he assumes different forms.
Yes.
I dig that. I think that's pretty awesome.
And they they are looking for a bigger physical actor to play Sauron as we see him at the Battle of the Last Alliance.
Hey, that means they need to bring Sala Baker.
Sala Baker.
Sala. Oh, hey.
All you need to do is call Sala.
All you guys, yeah, I better call Sala. Guess what? We made it funny. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Better call Sala. That's our hashtag.
Seriously, just give
Make it a hashtag.
It's an
Everybody,
easy win.
hey, I think David Prowse is dead. Is David gone? Yeah, David Prowse
David
is.
Prowse, yeah.
He passed away, but
Also, he's very
brilliant.
old.
No, better call Sala. Hashtag Sala Baker. You know what?
Hey, Garfameo is in the chat room. Can we give the news about Sala?
We're getting ready to talk about.
Speaking of Sala,
What's happening at Los Angeles Comic-Con, because this is one of the bigger stories that we have to close out the ending segment of our show. We are going
hashtag it.
I want you to hashtag Better Call Sala.
I don't
I
want
love
you
that.
to hashtag it because
I do. I
we're
think it's
not-
great.
We're not playing on Twitter anymore.
No, we
For
don't.
obvious reasons.
It's a mess.
It
It's
is
complete.
we are
It's a
not
disaster.
I
Anyway.
can't even log into that site anymore. And if you notice, the One Ring has not tweeted in several days or weeks because
We're done.
No.
We're done with that
no,
silliness.
Yeah. Someone please invent another Twitter.
Yeah, invent another.
All right. So
okay,
what's the news with Sala?
The news with Sala Baker is that this coming weekend,
This weekend.
believe it or not, hey guys, sorry. This coming weekend, December 3rd, on Saturday, at Los Angeles Comic-Con, there's going to be a very, very big Lord of the Rings role-playing game adventure with a full tabletop adventure campaign that is brought to you from the mind of Kate Porter. I hope I didn't get her name wrong. I probably did. And this is
When you say a game, like is this like
This is from-
D&D?
this is the Lord of the Rings role-playing game. Yes, the D&D version of the Lord of the Rings, which is
Okay.
the tabletop role-playing
Okay.
game. And the big charity event that they're doing this for this weekend is something definitely worth describing. Okay? All right. Let's see here. Kate's getting ready to join us on Zoom. That's Walsh. I meant to say Kate Walsh. I guess I was thinking of a different Kate
So
Porter
it-
in the state of Arizona.
whoa.
Sorry, I was thinking about someone else entirely.
What's that big D&D show that everybody watches every Thursday? What's that big D&D show, guys? So
Okay.
it's kind of like that. It's like a live role-playing experience with some wonderful actors and people.
Critical Role?
A Critical Role.
Yeah. This is gonna be a version of Critical Role.
Live in person at
10 times better at Los Angeles
at
Comic-Con.
LA
okay?
Comic-Con this Saturday.
We are very excited to share with you world's premier charity gaming event. And it is coming up at the convention in Los Angeles this December 3rd.
Well, that's wonderful.
This exclusive game event will be featuring new Lord of the Rings role-playing game, the Lord of the Rings RPG, which you might be familiar with
That
already.
should be on our holiday wish
An
list.
all-star celebrity cast to raise support and funding for Extra Life for Kids, which is a program of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
Well, everyone knows Extra Life. They do a lot of Twitch gaming and
Yeah, they do.
charity streams with video games and Twitch. I do
Now,
like them.
the name of this wonderful RPG chapter is called Lost Odyssey, The Red Scribe, and it is a one-night only live event at Los Angeles Comic-Con, hosted by Game Master Kate Welch from Acquisitions Incorporated. Now, that was cool. Acquisitions Incorporated, they got Patrick Rothfuss and other great people to come in to do tabletop gaming sessions with them.
For this?
yeah.
Really?
For their previous games that they were doing.
So Patrick Rothfuss is not in this.
He's not going to be in this, but
All right, who's in this?
This is the new people who are joining us
For a Lord of the Rings.
from True Blood and Daredevil, Deborah Ann Wall.
Oh, I like her.
From The Late Late Show with James Corden, Reggie Watts. From Godzilla and Deadpool, we have TJ Storm. Also coming up on stage from the great history of Dungeons & Dragons, it is Luke Gygax from Gary Con. And the Dark Lord Sauron himself, Sala Baker from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, are all going to come and take part in this tabletop role-playing experience like no other.
Well, that's great.
It's really, really cool, and it's because it's been 2 years. So this represents Lost Odyssey as a gaming experience, coming back together for their first live event, obviously after the pandemic and everything shut everything down for 2 years. Okay? Free to attend. So here's the explanation from what we've got in the press release. It's free to attend on Saturday for badge holders at LACC.
Okay.
With a limited number available, convention goers can redeem their tickets at the Legion M booth. So you've got to find the Legion M booth starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, December 3rd. Attendees will receive, those who attend this live event, they'll receive exclusive Comic-Con giveaways like miniatures that you can paint, adventure dice, polyhedral dice for your game, and much more.
Wonderful.
It's really cool. So they're going to launch something tomorrow.
Yeah, a full preview, right?
Full preview. Yeah, they're going to have a very special preview
Well,
launching in
this
full
is
tomorrow.
fun. So the Dark Lord Sauron Salabaker will be at LA Comic-Con this Saturday, and I believe
Yes.
this live role-playing game, Otaku Senpai in the chat room says it is based on D&D 5e, the rule set, the 5e rule set.
That's 5th edition.
5th edition.
5th edition of Lord of the Rings RPG.
The D&D 5th edition
Yeah.
has a skin of a what do you call it? A variant,
a skin, a conversion.
a
yeah,
conversion.
A Lord of the Rings role playing
That-
is D&D 5th edition conversion of
And it's
the One Ring role playing
and
game.
this isn't a bootleg. It's a officially licensed. It's officially licensed Lord of the Rings D&D 5th edition, and they're gonna be playing it live. That's wonderful. Deborah Ann Woll is wonderful. Wasn't she,
She
the,
is.
the
She's
the
super cool.
lawyer in Daredevil? She's the
Yep.
blonde, right?
I think yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is going to be so cool. Not only do we have
Ooh, Gygax is there. People in the chat room love Luke Gygax.
It's Gary Gygax's son.
So
this is
as
so
official as
cool.
it gets.
So cool. And we're going to post the official trailer and more information being posted tomorrow. But I believe we have Kate somewhere in the Zoom almost ready to come in and join us.
Maybe tomorrow, right? Because they're launching everything tomorrow.
No, I think she's waiting to come into the show now,
Oh,
today.
we don't have that set up.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Kate. Hello, Kate. We love you, but we need to tell you right now that we don't have all of the technical jiggery
Yeah, we
pokery
don't have it ready.
so we can't bring you into the live show. I'm so sorry about that.
Cheatham is one of our loyal viewers. She's normally in England, and it's usually like 2 in the morning, and she is on the East Coast of Freedom Land, America, and it's great to have you at a decent hour
Kate,
joining us for the show. Emily,
I'm excited.
It's great to see you.
Yes, Emily. I'm excited to see you here
Yeah.
as
And
well.
Pete
And
Ritzer's
Pete,
here.
Pete is one of our originals, our original OG family. Now,
That's right.
In response to Kate, who's there waiting, if
So-
you want to come and join the YouTube chat, Kate, introduce yourself to everybody. And we're just so excited to have this happen. I'm sorry we cannot bring you in with the Zoom link, but that's because things didn't work out for us quite technically the way we thought that it would. Sorry about that.
That's right.
That's okay.
So
Now-
Cliff, big news. The Fall of Numenor is a book that should be on everyone's bookshelf.
Other big news. Who else? Sam and Frodo are going to be live on the big stage at LA Comic-Con.
I don't know about that. Check the press release on that.
There's a press release?
I don't know about that.
No, not at the gaming event, but there's a separate event where Elijah Wood and Sean Astin are scheduled to be on the stage, making a separate appearance, not connected to this extraordinary RPG charity event.
Yeah,
It's different.
I'm not sure all the details, but
Really?
the
Okay.
OneRing.net will be posting all the details tomorrow.
We will, and when we get more
So the big one
confirmation
is, Luke
about that.
Gygax, official D&D, official Lord of the Rings, official Sala Baker. So Better Call Sala. Look, if Amazon, if you're going this direction and if you're going to cast multiple people as Sauron over the next 4 seasons, it only makes sense, Cliff.
Thank you, Tigress. That's very generous of you. Yes.
It only makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Whatever you have to do,
Well, hey,
get Sala.
let's take a look at how Grindelwald was played by a certain character actor from Ireland named Colin Farrell. And for most of the entire movie, nobody knew that it was Johnny Depp who was going to show up and actually be Grindelwald at the end of the movie.
Mads Mikkelsen.
That's the third movie. I'm talking about the first.
So we're talking 3 actors have played
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald.
But in the first movie, I'm trying to make
Crimes of Grindelwald.
it was the simple analogy that I was making.
Yes.
That if a polyjuice potion can be used in the Potter world, so that nobody knows that Grindelwald was who Grindelwald was, then take that same appliance,
Yes.
put it in Middle Earth. Sauron is going to disguise himself in the same way that he is taking a polyjuice potion, but he's not, literally. But he can be played by a different actor entirely. An entirely different actor.
Well, now I want to know, Cliff.
And then surprise, oh, it's really Sauron all along.
How does Sauron change form? Is it ever explained?
It's magic.
Guys, do we agree with that?
As Mr. Bean would say, it's magic.
But
It's
serious.
magic.
Serious. Is it ever explained how
No,
he is a shapeshifter?
Professor Tolkien never hard magic explains a system of magic at any time. Everything in Tolkien is soft magic, open-ended, very. It's mercurial. All the edges are soft and borderless. There isn't a hard magic system to answer your question and say, oh, Sauron does X, Y, and Z and changes form. It's not like that. It is very loose-ended and open-ended.
Do you want
That's
it
the way
explained?
Tolkien wrote it.
Well, do you want it explained in the show?
No, I do not need
Are you
any
listening
of it explained.
to the
do not.
showrunners and the writers and
I-
everybody involved in Rings of Power? Do not explain the shapeshift.
We don't need, like hard magic is being introduced as a system of mithril has the light of the two trees.
That's what I'm saying.
And now the mithril is going to heal the leaf. And the leaf is representative of the darkening of the Eldar.
Do you want to see Charlie Vickers
We don't
morph?
need any of that explanation.
Do you want to see Charlie Vickers morph like the witches did in episode 8?
No. No. We don't necessarily need to see that.
Is
But-
Sauron omnipresent? Can he be in Mordor and Numenor at the same time?
No. In fact, the story that you never read out of the appendices, my buddy, the story that Tolkien wrote is very specific about Sauron staying in Middle-earth and biding his time until he realized that the threat of the Numenorians was way too much, and he wanted to handle it in a different way. And he allowed himself to capitulate and be taken prisoner to Numenor. He was not...
We just saw that. We just saw him get taken to Numenor as a prisoner.
There are
So we already seen that.
There are no clones of Sauron. This is not a clone
Does he force
situation.
project himself like Luke
No.
Skywalker does? No, like Galadriel does in the Hobbit movies, where Galadriel shows up to a group meeting. Galadriel shows up to a group meeting with Saruman and Gandalf and Elrond.
Galadriel was a ring bearer, and she was able to project her telepathy to Frodo because Frodo was a ring bearer, and she had revealed herself as the bearer of one of the 3 rings.
And Sauron
And
is
so-
the ring maker, so he should have the same
Are
power.
you talking about that time when Galadriel picks Frodo up off the ground
No, I'm talking
outside
about
the spider's
wonderful-
lair?
I'm talking about the wonderful Hobbit movies where there is a council of Elrond,
Okay.
and she is in a meeting with Saruman, and she force projects herself. They used ring Skype. Thank you, Troy. Well,
She
anyway,
did not force project herself. No, Professor Tolkien explains nothing about it, but the ring bearers
it just happens.
The ring bearers are allowed telepathy as one of the shared powers of the 3 elven rings.
And the rings are made by Sauron, so Sauron should have that power. Thank you.
Sauron did not have any involvement in the making of the 3 elven rings. They were not tainted by his touch. That is in the book. It's
Okay.
in the book. All right, guys, listen.
All right.
Listen.
Well,
We
this
don't
is-
need any hard magic explained.
No
but
hard magic. Don't explain it. We are ready to accept the magic as it happens.
She was there
softly.
in the White Council meeting in The Hobbit. She was there in person. She was not forced projection like Luke Skywalker.
But
she was there in
with
person.
Frodo, she was not there.
With Frodo, she was using telepathy, not force projection, to pick him
Like
up
Sauron
outside of
will-
Shelob's
like
lair
Sauron
and
will
helped him
do.
pick himself up off the ground, which I thought was brilliant. That was actually one of the best things that Peter Jackson did in those movies. Anyways,
All right.
look, you guys.
Cliff, this has been a wonderful conversation. You guys have got some good Green Dragon gossip this week.
There you go.
If we hear any confirmation,
That's the best
on
joke.
any of this,
The Shiv Knight says, very late joke, but knew better, do better, call Salah. I love that. That's really very
jokes
good.
all day. So if we hear more about these rumors, we will post them on the OneRing.net. In the meantime, go to the OneRing.net. We are giving away some official Lord of the Rings puzzles for the holiday season. We got 2 puzzles to give away. Go to the OneRing.net. You can see it. There's a story on how to enter. And then tomorrow
that's
we'll
cool.
have all the
That's cool.
information about this wonderful new Lord of the Rings RPG based on D&D.
This is
edition.
the new
This is
Lord of the
gonna be
Rings
good.
RPG, and their big event is called Lost Odyssey: The Red Scribe. One night only event. You guys must be planning to come to Los Angeles Comic-Con, and this is one of the events that you do not want to miss. It's a charity event. It's really extraordinary for Extra Life for Kids, which again is a program of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
It's going to be good.
So
Cliff,
good.
Thank you so much.
Dude, thank you for hosting this show.
Yeah, and happy holidays to everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Turkey Day, and hopefully you're getting time to spend with your family and travel. And look, we are coming up on December. At the end of December, Garfamau in the chat room is booking a trip for fans of to New Zealand, a whole cruise to Middle Earth. You want to reach out to her. There's posts on the website about more information, or you can just DM her on Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you,
because
Monica.
We have because it's just a wonderful trip. You all need to go to New Zealand, and it's going to be fun. Cliff, thank you so much.
It's going to be amazing. I want to say thank you, Justin, for being here this evening and helping us put this show together. Apologies again to our extraordinary game designer and game master, Kate Walsh. So fantastic. We'll have you come and join us very soon. Maybe we'll be talking in person. Oh, one last programming note. We're not going to do our panel presentation at 3:30. It's been moved. A lot of things on the presentation calendar moved. At Comic-Con on Saturday the 3rd, our panel is at 5:30 p.m., not at 3:30 p.m. So look us up on the programming schedule and be sure to join us, everybody. We'll be there. It'll be fantastic. What a great night. Thank you, good sir, for helping us put this show together. Thank you, Kate, and all the kind people at Lord of the Rings RPG. And a special acknowledgement to the hard-working staff of Scum and Villainy Cantina. Let's hear it for Scum and Villainy Cantina. Yay, everybody. Thank you for hosting us here tonight, my friends. Until next week, we will see you after Comic-Con with a lot of more, well, he's going to have more crazy spy reports, and I'll tell you all about what happened at the Comic-Con presentation this coming weekend. Until then, take good care of yourselves, be gentle with one another, and as I love to say at the end of every show, good night and good luck. Or better yet, buenos noches y buena suerte.